And I'm back with more Apollo Justice. And it's time to keep going with the trial. Wesley Stickler was the witness, but Trucy got in trouble near the end of it. And now we're dealing with the consequences of the recess. Huh? Trucy! Trucy! You move quick, Apollo. You move quick, Apollo. Good show. Good show. Trucy! You're okay. I thought... Don't cry, Apollo. Those good-for-nothing gangsters. There's some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Wait, just calm down. Or else. Huh? What the heck is that? Surprised? This is one of my best tricks. The amazing Mr. Hat. You look marvelous, darling. He's a big hit on stage in the Wonder Bar. Yeah, I'm a big hit. Well, what did you think? Did you like it? You mean, Trucy, there's some things you just don't do. I'm pressing charges. Apollo? Now's not the time to be threatening me. It's you who's being threatened here. Huh? Remember what you said at Wocky's father yesterday? You promised you'd save his son. But the testimony was rock solid. What are you suggesting I do? Look, once the judge declares a verdict, it's all over. If I can use my talent to stop that from happening, I will. Trucy, no more stage abductions, please. I'm not talking about magic, Apollo. I know when the witness isn't confident. I can perceive what he's feeling. It might not mean anything, but it's all we've got. You can see what he's feeling? Think back. Think back to the times where there was a contradiction in his testimony. All the times. All the times there was a contradiction? I think I remember them, sure. There were 2 times he made statements where he wasn't confident in. And each time, there was a contradiction. In his hand... Ooh. He said the man tossed aside a pistol. But it turned out he wasn't sure. And sure enough, there was a contradiction. Well, that's true, but how does that help us? Didn't you notice anything? Whenever he made a statement he wasn't confident in, he displayed a certain habit. Did you see it? The very moment he said pistol, his fingers got all tense, and he fiddled with the corner of the page of his book. How am I supposed to see that? Well, I could see it. How else do you think Daddy went 7 years without losing a game of poker? Wait, what? I always sat next to Daddy during big matches. I could see what his opponents were feeling. You mean that's how Mr. Right won all those games? It's not cheating officially. I wasn't looking at their hands or anything. And I wasn't there all the time either. Daddy's quite good at poker after all, but not good enough to go undefeated that long. Great, so he cheated. How's that help us? I don't believe this. You have to listen to his testimony one more time. No, scratch that. You have to watch his testimony. Perceive the truth. Watch a testimony. Perceive the truth? The only thing I'm perceiving is I'm going to lose. That's not true. Daddy said so. He said you have the power, Apollo. Mr. Wright said that? What's the testimony? Perceive as true feelings? Serious? Time's up. Sorry, I can't think of any other way out of this one. What was that she said before the trial started? Is that what he meant by us being fine? Well, methods aside, she did avoid one guilty verdict already. Time to show this court what I'm made of. Get ready for justice! Let's do it! Apollo! You know, I'm starting to think I could do this. I knew you could do it all along. Oh, one more thing. Try to cover for Mr. Hat as best you can. I just flew in from my coat, and boy are my arms tired. Or from the coast. Oh, I get it. Right. How does she operate that thing? Press on ergo. Okay. Yeah. Court is now back in session. Right, we're fine. I'd like to say to the young lady standing next to you... Oh, you mean me? Don't you have anything to report? Anything concerning the mysterious phantom in the silk top hat? Oh, right, him. Don't worry about him, I settled that. You settled that? Yes, it was out-of-court settlement, right? Perhaps Fräulein would have us believe it was nothing more than a passing dream. A fantastic illusion. Now you see it, now you don't. Am I right? I think he's on to me. I wish he would stop being so cool. Let us dispense with the niceties and get straight to the matter. What are your plans for the gifted witness? Right. The defense would like to request another cross-examination. Because I forgot to ask something. There was no issues with the witness's previous testimony. I will grant your request, however, but this court will not permit stalling for time. Understood. Don't forget, Apollo. When he isn't sure about something, he has a habit of fiddling with his book. Fiddly-dee, fiddly-dee-doo-doo. Trying to see if I can... If they do it, I can't really see it from that angle pretty quick. I'm not sure I'm qualified to watch testimonies after all. Focus! Find his weak spot! Focus? If only were that easy. My ears hear what he says. My eyes see his expression. Do I have to do something more? What other senses do I have? What's this? My bracelet! What's going on? My bracelet feels different somehow. I think Daddy was right. You can see it, can't you? You're almost there. Find the weak spot in his testimony. I know this sounds crazy, but my bracelet is trying to tell me something. Oh. Hold it! So, you called immediately after witnessing the murder? The police undoubtedly have a record of the call. Why not check with them? Wait, Apollo. This has to be it. Wait, you mean his habit? What The only time he's ever had the book open was here. Which means this is the place to look for it. I don't know how I know, but I know. Know what? It's my bracelet. It's different somehow. I can feel it reacting to something. Your bracelet? I'm not sure how I get this focus stuff you're talking about. But I have a feeling that I'm trusting my bracelet is the way to go. Okay, I just need to touch it with triangle, and it'll react to the testimony. What's going on? I can see the witness's face. His expression so clear. It's filling my mind. I can see nothing else. Hear nothing else. Apollo? Trucy? What's happening to me? This is what I meant by focusing. Focusing. In this state, you can see everything, Apollo. Everything the witness does. That's great, but it's kind of freaking me out. Just look for Mr. Stickler's twitch. His habit. You remember it, right? Sure, when he says something he's not sure of, he fiddles with a page in his book. You got it. Right now, you're looking at his face. And your eyes are sort of bugging out. I'll bet they are. Move your focus of attention down to his hand. His hand? You know what to look for now. But you have to be looking at the right place. She's right. I can only see his face like this. I gotta change my viewpoint. Okay. I mean, I'm doing that. Does the game not... There we go. Oh, I get it. I have to be really quirky about it. Perfect. Now you're really ready. Ready for what? Ready to perceive the truth behind the twitch. Perceive the... Try listening to the witness and talk as you focus. Then watch for his habit. Right, you mean when he fiddles with the page? That's right. That's your signal to look closer with triangle. Find his weak spot, and I guarantee we'll be able to give him the royal flush. Spoken like a true poker head's daughter. I'm a magician, thank you very much. So I have to pay attention to his words and his fingers? Don't worry if you miss it. You can always try again. Look out, nervous twitch. Here comes justice.
Gotcha!
I saw it. Just now. I could see it. Mr. Justice, you do have something to say. All this banging of desks. It's quite bad for my circulation, you know. Mr. Stickler, allow me to ask you a simple question. Why'd you fiddle with the page of your book just now? The very moment you mentioned your cell phone. What are you talking about? I'm curious now about the cell phone of yours. Mind if I ask you a few questions? What'd you ask? Mr. Stickler, please show us your cell phone. Why? Whatever for? Show me and you'll find out. Well, I can't. I don't have it, you see. You don't have it. Mr. Stickler, is this your cell phone? Where did you get that? That's the phone from yesterday. How strange, Mr. Stickler. Huh? Can you explain when your cell phone's sitting here in my hand at this very moment? Wait a minute. What is the meaning of this? This cell phone was found yesterday, in the Meritus Clinic garage. The Meritus? Why, that's where the victim lived. That's impossible. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court, didn't you? If your cell phone's here, how could you have called the police? It's true. I didn't have my cell phone that night. Which is why it can be said I called the police from a public payphone. A payphone? So you didn't call the cell phone after all. Just where was this payphone located? Well, to indicate it with a startling degree of accuracy, it was right around here. That's quite a ways from the park. But why did you lie? There can only be one reason. He didn't want the court to know he lost his cell phone. Because it was found in the victim's garage. What are you saying? Mr. Stickler, you broke into the Meritus Clinic garage on the night of the murder. This cell phone tells all. Uh-oh. But that's ridiculous. That makes it sound like I snuck into the fellow's garage to commit some crime. As though I was trying to kill him. Well, Dr. Meritus was killed that night. Well, yes, but no! This line of reasoning has to be against the rules. It's true. I lost my cell phone. But you can't prove that I lost it that night. Well, Mr. Justice, if that cell phone was dropped the night of the murder, it does raise considerable suspicions as to the connection with the crime. Now's your chance, Apollo. Connect Mr. Stickler to the crime. Oh, he's already connected enough. I just gotta prove it. Can I prove the cell phone was dropped the night of the murder? Of course I got evidence. Oh, I like your swagger here, forehead. Hit it! The court will see to this evidence. Hit it, as they say. The evidence that proves the cell phone was dropped the night of the murder. Take that! That's a side view mirror? As it so happens, Dr. Meritus's car was in an accident that took place the night of the murder. An accident? An accident. It happened a little after 9 p.m. just outside People Park, our murder scene. Dr. Meritus's car was hit by a pedestrian. What are you trying to say? From the absence of a mirror, it was clear the car was parked after the accident, which means it was parked there after 9 p.m. on the night of the murder. If your cell phone had been dropped before the car had been parked, then it would have been crushed. After all, it was lying on the ground right under our wheel. Ergo, Mr. Stickler. The only time you could have dropped this in the garage was after 9 p.m. the night of the murder in the park. Weird. Seriously, trying to vocalize that word is weird. It's like getting punched in the gut every single time you say it. Well, Mr. Stickler, you know what this means. You did break into the victim's garage that night. Well, this is most unexpected, Mr. Justice. Are you naming the witness as a suspect in the murder of Paul Meritus? No! Stop! This is too much! This can't be happening! Prosecutor, say something! I suppose it's worth saying this. No connection has been found between Wesley Stickler and Paul Meritus. That is, other than this. I believe our next testimony will be most revelatory. Is the witness prepared? Yes, Your Honor. I know that face. That's the face of guilt. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at him crying. That night, yes, I went to the supermarket. I must have dropped my cell phone on the way back. And when I was walking through the park, I happened to witness the crime. I saw the killer, the victim, the stand, all clear as day. It was him. I saw the defendant at the scene. As you can see, my model of cell phone has a defect. It is given to rolling. It's quite a pain when I drop it alongside the road, you know. Looks like a normal cell phone to me. In any case, Mr. Justice, the cross-examination. That's funny. My bracelet didn't react at all. His nervous habit must not be acting up. I didn't sense anything either, actually. Looks like you're on your own this time around. Right. No problem. I hope. Here comes justice. This part of the testimony is the key. I know it. Should I press him on it? Okay, press on the noodle stand. Do you happen to remember the noodle stand? Quite well, yes. For a student of the sciences, keen observation and healthy curiosity are vital. I remember everything. I could even read the sign. I believe it said, noodle! Yes, that was it. For remembering something quite well, it sure took your time to tell us. And thank you for telling us that a noodle stand sells noodles. Very enlightening. Well, Mr. Justice, what about that sign? Could it be important? So the sign says noodle. It appears the defense just obtained a vital piece of testimony. I'll have to go sample those wares one of these days. I think that's worth adding to the testimony. Whatever sort of noodles that stand sells, it can't match the Ivy View's cafeteria. Some apply to the school merely for a taste of the smart noodles. I wouldn't mind a taste of that myself. And you're absolutely sure the sign's red noodle? Why, just last week the professor offered me this praise. At least you have good eyesight, Stickler. I will give you that. It read without a doubt, noodle. I see. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Is it pity in your eyes? Let's take a look at the map, shall we? So you're claiming that when you saw the sign, you were standing here. Here, was it? Although it would have been hard to read a sign from that spot. You think so? Mr. Stickler, I'd like you to take another look at the stand, and to carefully read what the sign says. The sign actually states the name of the stand's owner. L. Dooms. Inconceivable! I'm certain it definitely said noodle. It's positive. I'm afraid your professor was wrong about your eyesight. Oh, I wouldn't be so quick to jump to that conclusion. The sign he saw changes everything. Witness says the sign said noodle. What would you say if I told you? That there's one spot from which the sign would be read the way Stickler claims. What? Mr. Justice, show us this spot. Huh? Wait. Examine under... Ooh. Where, huh? Examine under present. Any thoughts? It's my turn to chastise this upstart, is it? Recall what you just told the court. The sign stands for Eldunes, yeah? How would the witness standing there have indicated changing anything? Oh. God damn it! What the heck? Present under present button. It says examine under present button. Oh wait, no, it would be.
Take that!
I hope I got it right this time. Oh, there we go. The witness was standing here, on the opposite side. When viewed from the south, the sign on the stand reads Eldunes, as we know. However, observe the other side of the stall. Oh, this side says noodle. Way to help me out there, guide. Okay, so this guide is not always right. It first didn't tell me about the cop car. Now it doesn't tell me just the opposite side of the noodle stand. It's not hard. Anyway, alright. Exactly. The name is spelt between the front and back sides. Mr. Stickler, you lied to the court. You witnessed the crime from the northern side of the park, not the south. You got me. So what? So what? What does it matter if he saw the killing from the north or south side? Makes no difference at all. He's right. Travel far enough to the south, you'll just end up going north. Viewed on a global scale, directions are utterly without meaning. Actually, maybe he's right. What does it change? It changes everything, Apollo. Remember his testimony from before. Though to be honest, I'm a little scared of where this is leading. The killer and the victim were facing each other here. And then at the moment the killer raises the weapon, Mr. Stickler shouts. At which point, the victim turns his head to look. And the killer fires the pistol. Bonk. That's why the bullet hit him in the right temple. No contradictions, right? Right. But if he was standing to the north side of the park, that reverses the whole scenario. Completely. If Mr. Stickler shouts from where he is now, then the victim looks in his direction. The bullet would have been and hit his left temple. Ah! Oh! In other words, someone standing at point K couldn't shoot the victim in the right temple. It's impossible. That's right. So now that we know that Mr. Stickler was standing on the northern side, the wound location takes on an entirely different meaning. Indeed. You're absolutely correct, Fräulein. What meaning? The entry wound was on the right side of the victim's head, correct? Well, the right side of the victim's head is north. But that's where the witness Wesley Stickler was standing. So if he was standing to the north, then the only person here who could have shot the victim in the right temple was Mr. Stickler himself. Order! 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 The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Oh, she's flipped the whole case on its head while I was still trying to figure it out.
Objection!
Clarify one point for me, if you would, Herr Forehead. What now? Are you truly accusing this college student of murder? Huh? Well, I can't exactly say he looks innocent, but something still doesn't feel right. I just can't picture him as the real killer. No, please, looks aside, I'm really a nice guy. All my friends say so. Let's hear what the defense has to say. What are you gonna do, Justice? Should I really accuse Mr. Stickler? I don't think he's a killer, but he's not innocent either. His unusual silence tells me as much. Mr. Stickler, you seem unusually quiet. Tell us why. Now! The word confession isn't in my dictionary. Air forehead. I'm afraid it falls to you to elucidate Air Stickler's silence. I was Mr. Edgeworth for a second. Anyway, Mr. Justice, you did say you're accusing the witness just now for a crime other than murder. Your reason? The court's all ears. I know he's guilty of something, but what crime other than murder is there? Do I have evidence that shows his involvement in another crime? Your evidence. The court's all eyes, Mr. Justice. Show us evidence that points to the witness's involvement in another crime. Here we go. It's about to get stupid.
Take that!
The evidence is this. What? Is it women's underwear? Hey! Those are mine! Mr. Stickler? Don't look at me like that! Order! 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 Mr. Stickler, while I can't say this comes as a shock, it's not what it seems. My Pythagoras theorem I deny. On the night of the murder, just past 9 p.m., a young girl catches a panty snatcher red-handed. Bravely, she gives chase, but the snatcher flees and hides himself in no other place than the Meritus Clinic garage. Aha! Incidentally, those panties were found in the exhaust pipe of the car. Presumably, he was trying to hide the evidence of his crime. Ergo, while you may not be a murderer, you are guilty of panty snatching in the first degree. Please hear me out. It's not what it looks like. Yes, it's exactly what it looks like, and it's stupid. But that's how we're ending this case, so... Or at least not the case, but this part of the trial, so... Order! 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 This is beyond ridiculous! Mr. Stickler, you should be ashamed! It's not what it seems! It seems... So are we to understand you were silent not because you were guilty of murder, but because you lacked the courage to admit the theft of this girl's undergarments? Perhaps you're not aware of my school's name was originally written IV. I stands for intelligent. V stands for valiancy. Your point? I'm not done. I'm a major in the science department. And what does science teach if not curiosity? We of IVU Science Department are valiantly curious. No challenge is truly daunting. What greater challenge to science of a mystery? This guy, you're talking about a girl's panties here. No, you do not understand. A mystery is the unknown, and the unknown is unacceptable. My friends, when it comes to mysteries, these panties are the promised land. What are you going on about, man? From the moment I first laid eyes on them, I was compelled to investigate. For science. A full-sized car tire was the only first mystery of the panties he's revealed. The tire? Yes, I saw her do it. She pulled a tire out of the panties. But that's not all. First there was a tire, then a stew pot, then a frozen chicken. One mystery after another, and it was magic. Oh, I remember now. He's one of the regulars in the audience at the Wonder Bar. Huh? He's talking about my magic panties trick. I just don't understand. A broom from a pair of panties? It mocks the very laws of physics. A broom. And a frozen chicken. Trucy. Whatever happened to doves and bunny rabbits? I almost said bubs and dunny rabbits. Mr. Stickler, you stole this girl's panties to understand a magic trick? You say panties, yet there's so much more than that. They're extending an episode longer than it has any right to be. For me, they're an object of serious study. I wonder. There has been a recent string of panty snatching in the area. Were they all you? I am sorry, but I did it for science. Each time I spied a pair of panties, maybe they would be the pair that elucidated. Look, we're almost done. We're almost done. This is getting done. Still, that leaves one thing unexplained. You refer to our witness's other lie, yes? The witness claims he saw the crime from the south, but was in fact in the north. Indeed. Would anyone care to explain why he lied about that? Be my guest, Air Forehead. Me? Did I not hear you correctly? Did you not say you do not accuse the witness of murder? Why then did the witness lie about his location at the time of the shooting? Or have you no idea? Apollo? There's something about the way the diagram is arranged right now. When you think about it, right where Mr. Stickler's standing, isn't there a... Well, Mr. Justice, what say you? Do you have any evidence to show why the witness lied about his location? Oh, dear.
Take that!
The evidence that shows why he lied is... this. More panties! How many panties are you carrying in your pocket, Air Forehead? These are the last, honest. These were found in a trash can at the park. Looking at the diagram, we could see that the trash can was right next to where the witness stood. Mr. Stickler, you didn't. Alas, I'm a failure as a scientist. I can't unravel the mysteries of the universe. I can't even unravel a pair of panties. So these panties are your handiwork as well? That night, I had been chased, hounded into the Emeritus Clinic garage. Weeping in frustration, I was forced to abandon my prize. Don't you see how I felt? No. Believe me, I'd rather not. I hid in the garage for a short while, then abandoning the panties I made for home. To avoid the office where the girl works, I went towards the south entrance. Uh-oh. When I saw them hanging there on a clothesline by a giant mansion. A giant pair of panties! Apparently he did not know they belonged to the mob. I had them safe in my pocket, ready to take home, when I stumbled upon a murder. The murder of Dr. Emeritus. I reported what I'd seen, but I waited for the police to arrive. As I waited, I got scared. What if they searched me? It's when you disposed of the bloomers? Yes! It was a severe blow to the progress of science, but one that had to be borne. A fascinating, if disturbing tale. Are we done now? Can we stop this madness? I believe that brings today's proceedings to a close, and I'm more than pleased to dismiss the witnesses for the remainder of the trial. One last thing, if I might. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? Regardless of where we ended up today, some vital points were made. Namely, that the defendant, Wocky Kitaki, was at the scene of the crime, and he was pointing a weapon at the victim. One more thing. Wocky Kitaki has a clear motive. Indeed, the defendant, Wocky Kitaki, is still the prime suspect in the case. The only suspect, in fact, assuming there was no one else at the scene of the crime. Here the mystery remains. The location of the wound in the victim's right temple has yet to be explained. The court requests further investigation for both defense and prosecution. Sha, baby. No problem. Very well. This brings the trial for the day to a close. Thank fuck for that. Court is adjourned. Whew. I need a break. I need some food. Get some food in my stomach and be back for more.